First let me say that the NH-U12A is a good cooler, and Noctua really deliver into what they said. It's a cooler that can deliver top performance, very close to the NH-D15, in a smaller factor. I tested recently multiple CPU coolers, just to see how it measure against what I had available. The test setup is a Gigabyte Z390 Aorus Master plus i7-8086K plus Corsair 32GB DDR4 3200 CL16 plus Adata XP8200 Pro plus Xeonic SSR 600TL. The CPU was kept into Intel spec intentionally to be able to compare different scenarios, fans and heatsinks, running at 4.3 GHz on all cores, fully on AIDA 64 stress test on. I've always wanted the cooling power of a top-of-the-line Noctua cooler but didn't want half of my build obscured by the massive heatsinks and fans. The NH-U12A fits the bill perfectly. Installation was a snap and the fans are very quiet while keeping my CPU at low temps. Most importantly, my RGB memory sticks are still visible. Likes, performance, easy to install, the fan shapes, and push-pull method dislikes. Using Corsair Vengeance RGB RAM and complete mess with front fan compatibility. Owning the 3700X, the Prism Wraith stock cooler was loud even while under volting offset. I could only hit 4.2 GHz. Now, I got recommended this Noctua NH-U12A by TechDeals, YouTube, and after testing it, I can now use Auto OC and my 3700X hits 4.4 GHz and the temps are lower. And the fan is quiet. If you have mid-size/small case, and an AMD 3rd Gen, get this Noctua NH-U12A. Came in on time, great high-performance CPU cooler. Bigger than I expected but ended up with a perfect fit. Just make sure you have clearance in the case you're installing it to before buying. Apart from that, no complaints. Works super well and for anyone who wants to OC quietly on a fan without AIO water cooler. Fits like a dream, cools like one too. Keeps my husband's 8700K better cooled than his Corsair H115i, with the bonus of being near silent. Plenty of clearance on a mini IT export, inside of a Fractal Core 500 case. Switched to buying this instead of the NH-D15, for my first build, for its supposedly comparable cooling in a smaller form factor. The less weight hanging off of a vertically mounted MOBO the better. Mounting is easy. Apply the backplate through the pre-drilled holes around the CPU and screw in the spacers and hardware on the front, AMD and Intel hardware both included. Throwing the heatsink on was a bit fiddly as you can't feel if you are seated correctly due to the spring tension on the screws nor can you see very well. Not a big deal. Just don't fully tighten one side. Get both screws to catch before screwing both sides down. Fan mounting is intuitive. If you have tall memory the fans can mount as high as you like to accommodate as long as the heatsink isn't in the way. My i9-9900K took a modest OC to 4.7 using liquid metal instead of thermal paste in a well-ventilated case with Noctua 140 MMS moving air around. Click link in description for more reviews.